Alright, broski. Damn it. And it would hurt as much as murder. Yes, then it would hurt as much as murder.
This cactus sure is prickly. It must be real.
Best keep your distance from Billy there. You're liable to get hurt. Billy? The cactus has a name?
Billy, you're wearing your cowboy hat on your hand.
My rawhide cowskin 10-gallon hat. I just picked that up, but Billy took a fancy to it. Looks like he got stuck on the spines and he couldn't get it off. Those aren't pants, those are chaps. And that's a poncho up there.
Aha, poncho. It sure looks cool, but the name is a little silly.
Sorry, partner, but we're closed for the day. Huh? Y'all get along home now. I think Officer Marshall really wanted to be a Wild West bartender. I always wanted to say that. Looks like it's set up a trap. I just roped me a steal with this here lasso.
What?
It was a bellowing moo pal moo. Detective Gumshoe, I presume. Okay, I am fresh out of fucking ideas. I won't lie. Did we spray the rope? I don't remember if we sprayed the rope. Guess no. Well, I guess maybe we did. Maybe we didn't. I don't know. I expect there to be like some on the handle or on the thing. Okay. I am seriously out of fucking ideas. I know what we forgot to do. I think. Maybe we did. So, I don't remember. So we're gonna go look real quick in the evidence room. We sprayed this thing, but I don't remember if we actually like looked at it. I guess not. There's something sticking out of here.
Looks like a shirt. I guess it must be evidence for some case.
I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here. There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of slob. Not responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet that evidence locker was opened recently.
How do you know?
If you leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff, notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence?
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot, too.
I bet he doesn't tuck his shirt in his shirt under that trench coat either. If you're going to duck behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of them, pal. Okay, that did nothing. Well, fuck. Fuck. That was not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go up to Edgeworth's office and see if he's back yet. Nope. Move to... Move to the guard station. Go and go talk to Gumshoe. Nothing new to talk about there. Present him with... Detective Goodman's note and that switchblade knife. I bet Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone. Because the SL9 connection? That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. But why would evidence from that case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case. Sounds to me like we need to talk to Edgeworth.
Can't do. Because he's not in his fucking office.
Oh, wrong way.
My god, Edgeworth, where the fuck are you?
I am at a complete loss as to what to do next. I don't have a freaking clue.
What do you think about this? The SL9 incident. It's written on that knife. And on that note. Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? That knife was evidence from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet.
Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Usually you have to give them both pieces in order to get them to talk more. Oh, but I guess I already did all that. Awkward. Damn it. I already had this conversation. I accidentally hit space instead of escape. I think, is there anyone else we can talk to? Damn it. Oh yeah, he overreacts the knives. I forgot about that. He knows nothing about SL9. What's this? Maybe he knows something about this? Nope. I am legitimately completely out of ideas at this point. Really? Trying to get him to talk about SL9, but he won't do it. I am so confused. I'm legitimately looking at a no spoilers walkthrough, and I still don't understand why I can't progress. Basically, it says Edgeworth should be in his office, but he's not. And it's becoming frustrating. Hell, I can try one more time. Pretty sure we already did this. Yeah, we already did this. Huh. I already had this conversation with this dude once. Ray stuff. Because I can. I'd be really surprised if anything has any marks on it at all here. But I'm totally out of ideas at this point. Hmm. I'm just gonna shove through everything with Marshall. See if maybe I missed something. What the fuck? No, that was a bloody case. Violent, so it was a murder? A serial killing. A serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all. But the killer made the mistake and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him.
And this was 2 years ago?
That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight and started the rumor mill. Rumors about forged evidence. It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transfer the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is.
Oh, what do you mean?
Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see?
So that switchblade knife?
The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself. Hey pal, look at the time. Was there something you needed to be going to? It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm going to go give them my report for the day. It might help, you know.
Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer?
The one that says nothing but no problems. Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later. There we go. I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too. Now we can finally go talk to Edgeworth. I have no idea why all of a sudden that popped up, but okay. February 23rd, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202.
Ah, guests. My apologies.
Oh, it's you.
Have we met somewhere?
Huh?
Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long.
Is Edgeworth here?
There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand.
Right. He has the hotel bring him tea service? I'd love to know what that actually looks like. There we go.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the District Court Prosecutor's Office inquiry?
I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Ah, yes, he brought me the latest information, it seems.
Really? Was it helpful?
Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him.
So, how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation.
Concealing evidence?
Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time again. Again? I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney, however. Something happened. They gave control of the investigation over to the police department.
The police department?
Yes. Any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, I ask you, why? All along I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still... Wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Alright, let's talk to him about some shit. Let's start by making him talk about... No, let's start by making him tell me why the frick his number is on here. Oh, right, I'd better check this now. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage? Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that is true.
Why, Mr. Edgeworth?
Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Gant, no less.
The Chief of Police?
He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. Chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here.
Can I ask what kind of case it was?
I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case. I'd better make a note of it. Stubborn as always, I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. Talk about SL6. SL9, whatever. I know you. You probably got a hold of some information already, right? It all has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident. And some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You are the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. You must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. Talk, bitch. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant. That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago too then? He was a top officer, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous.
Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth?
What I want to know is why was a deputy chief of police on the investigation? In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't? Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something.
My sister? What?
If you were still studying forensic science.
Yes, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this.
Luminol testing fluid, Well then, you might have use for this.
Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints?
It's been chemically treated for better adhesion.
For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know.
I've no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, no need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks. I'll put giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well. Fingerprinting set and fingerprint file received.
Well, let's get going. One last investigation.
Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere.